Hi everybody, and I'm back in 2026. What I really want to talk about today is actually that I think that the way that things are going right now for all of us, it's basically won't change. Simply because if you not decide to really make something out of your life, start to think bigger, dream bigger, and do the bigger stuff, it really won't do any good for you. It's quite simple because on an everyday basis we've got a choice. We've got to make a simple choice. Either to live the life of our dreams or to stay the same. And I really think that there is no way that changes and improvements are coming without any hardships. Simply because in all of nature, to be better, to change in a better way, to improve, you need to come through some challenge. You need to develop, you need to come through this kind of evolution. And as long as we decide not to do the hard stuff and overindulge in easy activities, we will obviously not change. I think that some people really need to make this, all people need to make this choice, and really you should never leave it that way. You know why? Because as long as you do not really decide what you're gonna do, because you, well, obviously have only two choices. Yes, two choices. So one way you do the hard stuff and you got some changes of becoming and living the life you really want, and one day you will look back and say that you've done all that you could have done. And the other choice is basically to live the life that, you know, seems quite pleasurable right now, but in the future you will again look back and say that you really wish that you've done something differently. And there is the third option. I wouldn't say that it's a choice, it's rather the absence of choice. There is a lot of people that are thinking about doing the hard stuff, that really want to improve. Well, they think that they really want to improve, but they do not make this choice. They cannot make the choice of being miserable, of staying the same, and they cannot make the choice of doing the hard stuff. So they're like in the middle between those two choices, and I really think that this one is the worst kind of situation. So you either have an ego that will help you to move forward, or you just abandon your ego and decide to live the normal, peaceful life with not enough time to really think about your position. You will probably make a good living by working on some kind of a job. It's going to be a great job, it's going to be some kind of a normal job. You'll probably make a family, have a wife, not so great and not so bad, have some children that you won't be able to really provide from. And yeah, but you won't have enough time to really think about the situation. And I think that at the end of the day, you won't be so unhappy, you know? You won't be happy, but you obviously won't be unhappy. And well, the hard choice is actually doing stuff that really needs to be done at the end of the day. That will probably at some point give you the stuff that you really desire, or the fame or the money, but it is not guaranteed, at the end of the day. And I really don't want you to stick with the third option, the option about being in the middle, simply because it is the most unhealthy and unhappiest option of all between those three. So you just make a choice and decide if you want to follow your ego, follow your passion, follow your drive, or you want to abandon it. And just start with some time alone, because you really need to decide what you're gonna do with your life. And you really need to find your real self. Because under the influence of all of this technology, of all of these bad habits, you're really not yourself. You're not the real one. You're the ugly part of you, Try to, for the first time, for at least a couple of days, try to get away from all this stuff and try to find your real self. And then probably it will help you to really make the choice of your life. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you, yourself,